Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you are the magician. You are the magic maker. Claim your role as the magic maker. You're somebody with probably a very high IQ. I think that you can see connections where other people can't. You probably know another language. You have an ability to learn new things very quickly. I think that you have an ability to kind of to always be the right version of yourself in any circumstance that you're in, okay? You're very adaptable, yeah. And I think that you have this ability to morph your persona, yeah. And maybe it's always felt a little inauthentic, right? That you kind of behave a certain way in front of different people, you know, that you're able to sort of change your mannerisms and the words that you use depending on the context. But I think you're beginning to realize that it's all authentic. It is all you. But it's your ability to really respond to the environment, you know? And I think that it has a lot of authenticity behind it. Yeah. Again, you're very adaptable, right? But just because you can adapt to anything, I feel like you're kind of a MacGyver, you know? That you could take just anything, some bubble gum, a toothpick, a paperclip, and you can make, like, you know, a car. Just because you can adapt to any situation doesn't mean that you always should. Okay, because the magician here is the one that can take whatever environment they're in, and I can optimize it. I can make it the absolute best that it could be, given the circumstances and given the raw materials, okay? But the magician also has the power to say, I don't like these materials, I want something else. I'm gonna go somewhere else in a different context, okay? And that's where the wisdom of the magician really needs to kick in. Is this a situation that you're in now, where you should stay where you are and try to optimize? Or do you need a change of venue? Do you need to kind of dispatch some of these cars and get some new ones? You know, let's find out. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread here. There we have an Ace of Cups. We have a Six of Swords. There is your superpower card. Okay, that is a Knight of Cups. A Two of Wands, that power, yeah. And we have a Prince of Cups. That's authenticity. Okay. Very good here. You're following, you're trying to understand what is in your heart. And you're trying to express what is in your heart in a very authentic way, knowing that you have the power to write the narrative. If you don't like the situation you're in, you have the power to change it. This is the giant in you. This is your untapped power. And this is your Mars and Aries. This is your control. This is your dominion. This is about your assertiveness. Yeah. Path of the Serpent, what do we have? Six of Pentacles. Ooh, we have a double shot here. We're going to leave those as two. We have the Universe and the Emperor. We have the Death card, and we have an Ace of Swords. So Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords. The clarity and the purity are coming your way, so you will get the idea, you will get the certainty, the clarity, the truth about what choice to make, okay? Tarot, Spirit, the cards, me, not going to tell you what choice to make. Okay? This is a snapshot of your energy. But I do know that the pen is mightier than the sword, okay? I feel like the destiny here is that you're going to be writing the next chapter of your life, okay? This is you getting the green light to figure out what you want the narrative to be, what you want the next part of the story to be, and you get to craft it. You get to write it. You have to be the author of your own destiny right now. Okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. You know what? Let's adjust the camera just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Mystery card, confirmation card, bonus card, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, excuse my voice, excuse my attire. I'm not dressed as professionally as I usually am. I'm under the weather today. As you could probably tell from my voice, we've got a little bit of a cold going through our household here, so thank you for bearing with me. Okay. I don't usually dress like this, but these are my comfy clothes. I hope you're in some comfy clothes too. Anyway, as we look around the room, we do see a lot of majors, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you know, 4 is a lot. We've got fire, and we had a little bonus fire here with our Emperor card. Mars and Aries. This is an Aries energy. I'd maybe watch the Aries reading if I were you. We've got water, water, water. Straight path of water here. It was very interesting. Okay? A straight path of water. It's all about your intuition. It's all about your feelings, Cancer, and it's about what your heart is telling you. And that path is really leading you toward authenticity. Your magic here is for you to live the authentic path. Find the path with heart. Okay? And if this is it, where you are now, you adapt to this situation and you do your very best to optimize it. Well, that's what the Emperor does with the universe anyway. It optimizes. Okay? You are sustaining something, protecting something, and you're building something. We have air, and of course we have a little bit of earth energy. Not a ton of earth, but your station, first card. This is where you are right now on the spiral road. You're in a position where you get to create, where you get to make the decision about what the next chapter of your life is. You're the architect, okay? You are the magician. You're the conductor of electricity. You're the conductor of the orchestra. You're the magician here, okay? So really it feels like the decision is on your shoulders. Yeah, your actions, your words, your word, right? Your declaration, your proclamation is going to determine what happens next. The way you speak, the things that you say, your choices, your thoughts, words, and deeds, right now in the present moment, are going to create your reality. Okay? So the magician has to be in control of themselves and, to a certain degree, the world around them. Okay? You have to be willing to adapt and grow. You have to be willing to kind of learn new skills, okay? Learn new ways of communicating with people. But this isn't the past. It's not the future. This is the right now, okay? And right now I feel like you are either negotiating for what you want in life, or you're asking yourself that question, what am I willing to compromise? Am I willing to negotiate? Am I willing to compromise? Okay. What kind of world am I creating? What am I having to say? It's like, what are you condoning if you stay where you are? Yeah. And what would you be giving up if you were to leave? Or to go in a different direction, or you know what I mean. I don't know what this is. I feel like it's some kind of a work thing. The Six of Pentacles here in your general energy, I feel like it's some kind of a work thing. But it has to do, well, it doesn't have to be work, I guess. It has something to do with your physical environment, your physical existence, resources, money, maybe the home or the job, right? Something like that, something physical, you know. But this is you kind of wondering that very thing. Should I adapt and optimize? Or is it better for me to go and kind of, you know, write something new, write a new story somewhere else? Okay. The second card is the battle card. It's your heart, right? This is the challenge. This is the test. Does the situation you're in right now pass the heart test? Right? Does it feel good? Does it feel right? Okay. What are you having to compromise about yourself and about your values? Okay. What are you having to put up with and condone? What are you having to tolerate? What would you have to let go of? What would you have to sacrifice if you were to choose something else? So it's, that's, you're kind of asking your heart here, what's the right thing to do? What does the real me want right now? Okay. And that's why this is the battle card, because it may be that your heart is telling you a particular, giving you a particular answer, and it may be something that your mind is taking a little bit of time to come around to. I kind of feel like your heart knows something, but your mind hasn't yet kind of agreed to it, because down beneath the surface, well, you have a 6 of Swords. You're somebody that likes to have a plan, okay? You're somebody that likes to have some organization. I think you like to know kind of what you're getting involved with. You like to have a recipe. Okay. I don't think that you really are much for improv. Okay. This to me feels like a readiness. Okay. It feels like if you are going to leave, you like to have all the variables, figured out. You want to kind of run through all the scenarios so that so nothing surprises you, right? This is kind of and I don't like surprises kind of card. And if you are to go forward, this would then be a movement into chaos, right? We have the 6 plus the ace. It gives us the 7 of Swords. And I think that what you would be doing is you'd be kind of making yourself stand out from the crowd a little bit. The 6 right now is kind of all about you going with the flow. This is you taking on the beliefs and values of the situation that you're in. You're not calling attention to yourself, but as soon as you try to stand up on your own here with the ace, then things get kind of off balance. Then there's going to be people criticizing you, and you're going to be the center of attention, so to speak. Okay, but this is what's kind of coming up from underneath the surface. This is your soul position. This is what your soul knows, even if you've forgotten it. Okay, and this is Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury is our magician. Aquarius is your destiny. Yeah. So I feel like there's a story inside of you that wants to be written. And I guess the question then becomes for you is the situation you're in now, is that really your destiny? Is that where you're supposed to be? Does it feel in your heart, does it feel like the situation you're in is your destiny unfolding? Yeah. Or does it feel as if there's something that's kind of blocking you from, or does it feel as if you're perhaps reading from somebody else's script? Okay. This is your need to have that kind of a plan, and I think that you're somebody who, if you were to go off script, if you were to try to improvise, I think there would have to be a very good reason why. Now, in the background here, we have that chain. Okay, this is the link that binds you. And this is, it's one of your superpower cards. Okay, and so I feel that this is a very passionate beginning to something, that whatever you started in your life, you did it with a lot of devotion. You put a lot of yourself into it, okay? That you've always been you've always had a gift to give the world, And I feel that you've known that you're meant for great things, right? Like, that there's something about you that the rest of the world wants or needs or will receive. Yeah. And I think it's part of this dilemma right now. asking yourself if the situation you're in is the right medium through which to give the world the best parts of you. Okay? To express yourself the way that you want to. Is this the right way to do it? Is this going to be the proper channel for you to express your authenticity? Okay. The Knight is also looking at the future and having a vision. So I think you're someone who knows what you want your life to feel like. Yeah. I don't think you know the details, the color of the wallpaper, the furniture, the type of carpet. But I think you know how you want your life to feel, right? The Knights are looking at the tens. So the Knight of Cups is looking at the 10 of Cups and thinking, that's how I want my life to feel. Okay? And I think the situation you're in now is you asking yourself, is that still the plan? Am I still on track to have that, to do that, to live that life, right? And that's where we get our 2 of Wands up here, because it's kind of like, it's that dilemma. There are two avenues, there are 2 choices. It's either stay or go, right? And I think, to be honest with you, I feel like Spirit's giving you a green light. Yeah. I feel like there is a revelation in your heart here that is telling you that it's time for you to make a shift toward more authenticity. And it's maybe time for you to let go of the previous script that you've been following. I feel like there's a sudden change in your schedule, sudden change of plans here that's requiring you to improvise. Yeah, to adapt quickly. I feel like in your heart you know that this is the right shift. I feel like you're kind of and it may feel very spontaneous. It may feel like this is coming out of the blue, but I feel like your heart is trying to tell you something. Yeah. The 2 of Wands is that card of control. It's your untapped power. Okay. And this being the chain, this is the link that binds you, right? This is kind of like saying, look, the situation that you're in now, is it breaking your connection with your authentic self, or is it strengthening it? Is it helping you to carry your passion, your vision, or your gift forward, or is it asking you to compromise this? Because see, the chain, the link that binds you, this doesn't have to be, a bad card, and an unwanted card. This is that true and authentic part of you that sort of hums beneath all your choices. So I think you're asking, does this still resonate with me? Is it helping me to carry my creativity or your gift or whatever it is, your passion? Maybe it's very simple. Is the passion still there? Maybe it is that simple. Yeah. So the untapped power is your power to control, is your power to make that decision and say, if this isn't resonating with you anymore, you can change it. Okay, regardless of, what you may have committed to, or, it's like you're allowed to change your trajectory in life. Moving forward into the Imago, this is the image in the mirror of your becoming. Okay, this is your higher self, your ideal form. And this is a more authentic present day. This is about you moving forward toward more authenticity. Okay, toward a situation that you feel like resonates more with who you are as a person rather than the material concerns of our 6 of Pentacles, right? So the Prince of Cups is trying to maintain that authentic identity in a very hostile environment, okay? So it tells me that the situation that you're in now is kind of asking you to compromise some things that you really value, that you don't want to have to compromise. You could adapt and optimize the situation you're in, but what would be the cost? Would you lose authenticity? Would you have to agree to things that really aren't you? Okay. So what I see happening is that you're making that choice, that very difficult but very powerful choice, to follow your heart and move toward more authenticity, even if it means that you're kind of going off the map, off script, and you're going to have to write the next chapter yourself. I think this horizontal path of water is really it. You're staying true to yourself, regardless of what, here, Six of Pentacles, regardless of what this situation is like paying you. You're not compromising your values for a seat at the table. The Six of Pentacles is a group where everybody is contributing something, where everybody's kind of equal, but everybody's valued not for who they are or what's in their heart, but valued for what they can contribute. This is everybody being valued as a resource. Okay? And so it tells me that because this is the persona, this is your general energy, feels like you're in a situation now where the people around you or that are involved in this situation are valuing you because of what you can do for them. Okay? That the contribution here is one of resources rather than of, kind of creativity or just of innate value or a resonance or a kind of a heart level thing. Okay? It feels like it is a physically abundant situation, but it may not be resonating with you on any deeper level. So maybe it's a job that pays the bills, and they're going to offer you more money, but it doesn't speak to your heart, and I don't think that you are comfortable with what you would have to adapt to in order to take that profit or that paycheck or whatever it is, Sort of asking you to compromise your values in a way. The next couple of cards here, the Emperor and the Universe. This is very powerful. Okay? And this is really, that's the shadow. That's the part of you that you've avoided. Okay? And that is a master of the universe. That is somebody that believes that they can create the universe that they want to live within. That you can create your personal reality. This is you kind of taking that responsibility and claiming that authority. Okay? I think that maybe this is a group of people that it's very tempting for you to get involved in this group of people, but I don't think that this group resonates with who you are as a soul, as a spiritual being. And I think the Emperor here is, it's you not succumbing to peer pressure, for one thing. It's about you taking ownership of your life and claiming your authority and your sovereignty and saying, I can go my own way if I need to. Yeah. The Death card is, is a card of transformation. And to me, it's kind of asking that question, like, if you were to stay in the situation you're in now, who would you be in 5 or 10 years from now? Because you may not really, in the short term, see much difference. Well, it doesn't matter if I stay there a few days or a few weeks or a few years. There's no really big, abrupt changes. The Death card is slow change over the course of time. It's kind of asking, who are you going to slowly evolve into? Okay? Because, yeah, maybe you can adapt to this situation and maybe it would be fine for a short-term thing. But I think the illusion, really, or the mirage, the lie here is that this is something that's meant for you long-term. Okay? And I wonder if you're kind of looking for something long-term, and so why would you compromise that goal just to take something that may be good for you in the short term only, or is only really exists on a surface level connection, that there's nothing deeper there? So the question then is, who are you going to become over the long term if you stay here? And does that vibe with who you want to become? See, the Death card is all about what's being born in the universe through us. Your future self, And if you compromise your integrity now, what is that future self that you're birthing into existence? Okay, so I think you have a very important decision to make. I feel like Spirit's given you the green light here to take control and to make a decision, even if it's going to disrupt the status quo, even if it's going to upset the balance and the harmony and upset plans of others, right? We have the six and the six, thinking and behaving, and we have this sort of plan and this structure here. And if you're going to add the ace into this and you're going to knock it off balance, I think Spirit's given you the go-ahead. Okay? I think you're a very considerate person. I don't think that you want to rock the boat. I don't think that you want to cause any kind of disruption unless it's absolutely necessary. And I think this is one of those situations where it is called for. You have clarity of mind here at the end. Okay? And that card, that position is kind of asking you, like, what is going to be written? What's the next page of the codex that's going to be written for you? Okay? Is somebody else writing it? Is it based on, is it based on this situation? Or are you taking the power, are you taking the pen in your hand? And are you going to write that next story? The next chapter? Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. I don't know what this is going to be. I think maybe like a Six of Cups. I feel like it's going to be more water. I feel like what you're looking for is that resonance. Okay, something that is in line with your values. Somebody, if it's a thing at work, if it's at home, if it's at school, whatever it is, you want to find the thing that's going to really resonate with you, that feels like it's aligned with your beliefs and your values, and not asking you to compromise those beliefs or values for a little bit of coin, because you can see the future and you can see how that's going to play out. You can see who you're going to become on that road, and I don't think it really vibes with you. So I would like to see a Six of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. It's a Ten of Pentacles. So we're talking about the 10. We're talking about the knights, right? Looking into the future and seeing the 10. So this is the 10 here, and I think that as you look into the future and you ask yourself, who am I going to become? I think you can see that you would probably be very successful. You'd have a lot of money. You'd have your pets, your plants, your people, but the question really becomes, are these empty shells? You can see the future, and you can see that you're living lavish here, right? But is there anything deeper? The pentacles can't exist without the water. The water is what's nourishing them, keeping them alive. You don't want your life, you don't want your future to become, let's say, financially successful, but lacking any depth, lacking any sense of purpose, lacking any deeper meaning. You're being told to follow the path with heart. Okay? So that your future does not become just an empty shell. And I don't know exactly what your situation is. If you want to share it, feel free. This is a pivotal moment in your future, in your life, where you're sort of determining what kind of future you're going to have. And now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner here. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Cancer, Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.